There we go. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of your favorite Ravens YouTube channel and podcast, Talking Ravens all day, every day, with your host, Justin P. And my MVP co host, Miss Shannon Finch. This is episode 90 for the YouTube channel. So, for those who can't watch live, on YouTube, the audio version descriptions are right there. Or, excuse me, all audio version links are right there in the description. And below the audio links is me and Shannon's me Shannon. Co-host got a good show for us. It was a great week. Ravens got another big win. So I'm gonna let Shannon get right into it, Shannon. So hey, the floor is yours.
All right. So let's get into the good, bad, and ugly for week 9.
Uh, whew, wasn't too much. Mine's gonna be short and sweet because it wasn't too much. Good offense as a whole, defense as a whole, special teams as a whole. Bad. Couple was edge rusher come behind him, swiping out his hands. He dropping back the pass. Can't no quarterback do that behind. They don't got eyes in the back of their head. If you're gonna pull it, pull it. If you're gonna keep it, keep it. Like y'all got to get that figured out. Stay at the practice or something and get that worked out. Cause it's like it seems like every week with them two on that play, it's always a fumble. So yeah,
Mhm. All right. So for me, I'm with you. I don't have a whole lot to say about it because everything was so good. The good was everybody, coaching staff, the offense, the defense, special teams. Everybody contributed. I mean, that was an ultimate team win. Great game plan. Um, I don't have anything bad to say at all. The ugly for me is what you were just talking about. Is the fumbles. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, Odell had a fumble. Then Lamar had the one that was not really his fault because like you said, the guy got behind him. And then again with him and Justice Hill, I don't know what that's about. I don't even I don't. I mean, they kind of answered what it is today in the press conference, or was that yesterday in the press conference? But they have to get that worked on. We're halfway through the season. We played 9 games. We have 8 games left. We can't afford to get later in the season when it's cold outside and you have to run the ball in the playoffs and you have to run the ball and you guys are fumbling. So I would like them to get that cleaned up, but I really don't have too much to say. It wasn't anything bad. The fumbles are just ugly because even though we won in such a large margin, they couldn't really capitalize much off of those, turnovers when they did get the ball. It's still like, mm, you know, we could have been better. But that's it. Like I said, we've been talking about fumbles since week 1. So I don't know what they're going to do to clean it up, but that's the only ugly I have. But that was a great game from everybody across the board.
all right. Going to topic 2. Go ahead, Shannon.
Yep. All right. So position grades. Let's start off with the coaches. What do you give the coaches?
Everybody gets an A. I mean, everybody from Harbaugh, the Monken, the Mike McDonald, and special teams coach Chris Horton. Like I can't put that all as good and don't get them all an A. A offense, a couple field goals that should have been touchdowns, but it's just little small nicky knack stuff, but not for me. And so, like I said, all three coaches, well, all four coaches, Harbaugh, Todd Monken, Mike McDonald, and Chris Horton, all get A's.
Hmm. I'm giving them an A plus. I mean, the Seahawks were one of the better teams, or they are. They are one of the better teams in the league. And I thought it was going to be more of a dogfight. Like I thought we were kind of going to go back and forth. We talked about that on Thursday, how evenly matched we thought they were. And I feel like the Ravens were just they were so well prepared on all fronts. You know what I mean? And we got to give that to the coaches. So I'll give them an A plus for that. And what grade do you give Lamar?
Oh yeah, man, 7 yards. Could have had more, but we took him out the game, rightfully so. No need to stat pad when you at the game and reach when the game is over with. So there's no need to stat pad. It's not worth it. So I give him an A.
I give Lamar A as well. Only thing that wouldn't make it an A plus is just like the issue with the fumbling. But again, that's something they can work on. But Lamar did everything you needed him to do. I'm not one that's big on stats and saying you have to throw for 200 and 300 yards and things like that. Because sometimes that can be empty calories and it doesn't mean anything if you're not scoring. And we did a lot of scoring on Sunday. So I'm going to give Lamar an A. And what grade do you give the offensive line?
But a couple pressures, but that's to be expected. It's the NFL. Uh, Only one sack, fumble, strip fumble that was really big. He really didn't get sacked too much. So other than that, yeah, they held their own, opened up holes. That's how Keaton Mitchell was able to do what he did,
Mm-hmm.
which will getting 10 guys missing.
I give them an A minus, and the minus is only becoming because of the like you said, the strip fumble. Ronnie Stanley has to do better with that. But if that's happened a couple of times this season with Lamar as far as the fumbles, we know we have 10 on the
Mm.
year, and we've lost 6. But I mean, they had a great game. It's not really too much. Only the minus because that could have been a lot different for us in that moment. They got to get that part cleaned up. And what grade do you give the running backs?
Agree. Get an A plus. I mean, Justice Hill had some good runs besides that one. Like I just said, that one fumble with him and Lamar on the read option. Gus had 2 touchdowns. He ran hard. Keith Mitchell stole the show. You know, 134 yards with 9 carries. Doubt about it.
A plus for me. Like you said, Justice Hill, he contributed. He did what he did. Gus with the 2 touchdowns. Keaton Mitchell finally popping like we thought he would. We've been talking about him since training camp. Um, Nothing really to say. I mean, they did their job, and as long as they're doing that, that's going to open up the passing game. So yeah, they get an A plus from me. And what grade do you give the tight ends and the wide receivers?
I'll give him a B plus. He left some yards on the field, but all in all, they made it happen. They made the catches when needed. Odell finally scored. And just made made some plays here and there. Collectively, they made some plays. Just nobody just really took over the game like I really wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
And the receiving in the passing game, for the receivers and tight ends. So I'll give them a B plus.
I might give him a B. Like you said, it wasn't anything that was like, so exciting with them. They did enough to help us win and get down the field. Odell with the fumble, in that situation. I believe that was Odell. You got to hold on to the ball. But they didn't have a horrible day. Not too much to complain about. That's part of the part where I feel like we can improve with getting them more involved because that was part of what we expected with this new offense, the passing game being a lot different. And it's a lot, it's better, it's different, but it could be better. Like that's still something they can work on. So I'll give them a B for the week. All right, and let's move over to the defense. What do you give the defensive line?
Okay. A plus. A plus. For one, they held Kenneth Walker a back that we was talking about with 1,600 yards last year as a rookie. Held him to 28 yards rushing. Got pressure on Geno Smith. He's the reason why he threw a couple of those picks. He got pressure. I just did his thing. You know what I mean? So Travis Jones is there making plays. So they definitely get they get an A plus plus. So they had a phenomenal game.
Hmm. I agree. A plus. I mean, we talked about in a preview for the game. One of my keys to victory was making them one dimensional, and we knew coming in like their running game was probably the best part of their offense, and we made them. It was more than one dimensional; they were zero dimensional. Like they couldn't do anything on us, and we always say that starts up front. So definitely they get an A plus. They put in work on Sunday. And what grade do you give the linebackers, middle and outside
Yes, they did.
linebackers?
They'll get A plus. Calvin Noy played amazing. Clowney, contributed. Owe finally wrapped up, but he was definitely containing the edge and getting pressure. Malik Harrison coming off the edge and playing middle. Queen and Roquan, they did their thing as usual. Tavares
Hmm.
Robinson even got in action a little bit, was getting some pressures. He made a couple tackles. So I'll give them an A plus.
Same, same, A plus. I mean, Eric DeCosta, you can tell that he learned from Ozzie because even though we might not make the big flashy splash picks with getting free agents and picking up guys that everybody may want us to get, we always seem to get the right guys. We always seem to get the right guys that can come in and fit into what we're doing. I mean, Clowney, what more can we say? Van Noy, amazing. He was sitting on his couch, before he came on the Ravens. I'm just glad we got him. They also get an A plus from me. And what grade do you give the secondary, safeties, and cornerbacks? You still there, Justin? Uh, you?
Sorry about the Shannon. Repeat that again.
Oh yeah, I said I agree with you.
Because
The middle linebacker.
it's buffing, so I'm pretty sure. Uh, like,
Okay. I was saying the same. I agree. They get an A plus. I was saying that Ozzy, you can tell that you could tell that Eric DeCosta learned from Ozzy, because he does a good job of picking up the free agents that we need. It may not be guys that
mhm.
flashy guys that all of the fans want us to get, but it's always the right guys. And can you believe that Van Noy was sitting on his couch before he even came here? Clowney has been an amazing addition, and we talk about our middle linebackers every week. Like it's nothing much we can say
Yeah.
about them anymore. We've been crowning them every week. So they get an A plus. And what grade do you give the secondary cornerbacks and safeties?
I get an A plus plus plus. You mean tell me a couple y'all caught catches, but you don't allow no touchdown passes. So Atlanta got three good receivers. JSN made some plays late in the game. Nobody cared because people got subbed in at that point. And picked Geno Smith off twice. Yeah, they get an A plus plus. They played amazing.
I agree. A plus. We talked about this in a preview about like I think you rated their wide receiver core, really high. And as expected, we talked about how well they are. and to basically make them be non-existent. Like they didn't make any noise. Like you said, they had big plays here and there when it didn't matter anymore. I think one play might have been for almost 50 yards at one point, but it really wasn't anything that ever put the game in doubt. The secondary, I say it every week, they're like the best part of the defense. Doesn't matter who's back there, they're getting the job done. So A+ for the secondary.
All right.
All right. So the next
Let's get
topic.
our next topic right here.
Now we've been talking about Keaton Mitchell since the preseason. I mean, all of us, me, you, and Dave, were very high on him, and we got to see what he could be on Sunday with just 9 carries. So, do you think that Keaton Mitchell should be running back number two?
Yes. That explosiveness is like, come on now. Every time the kid get the ball, it's a big play. Like even he got the ball against Detroit on a jet sweep, even though it was only one carry, went for like 15, 20 yards. Justice
Mm-hmm.
Hill, just let him get in when he fit in. Because like I said, the fumbles and the missed blocks on pass protection sometimes be having me scratch my head with him. Because he's a fifth, come on now. You shouldn't be making those same mistakes. So yeah, definitely Keith Mitchell need to be number two running back right now. Because every time he touched the ball, is liable to be a big play. It reminds me of Chris Johnson. And ironically, they went to the same school at East Carolina.
I agree. I mean, every time he touched the ball, he pops. Every time. In the preseason, we were kind of like, okay, let's see him do it with the ones. Let's see him do it against the ones. But it's like I think that it would benefit us to get him more touches. I mean, only with more opportunity can he do more things and help the team. And like I said, coming down the stretch, we need to be able to run the ball, which we can. But I would like that to be more consistent as well. And Justice Hill, like you said, he can get in where he fits in. Doesn't mean that he can't still be utilized, but that fumbling between him and Lamar, I can't get with that. I don't want to get later in the season and we're still dealing with that. But Keaton Mitchell, man, that kid's amazing. I
Mm-hmm.
don't even mean to call him a kid because I know they hate that, they're men, but he's great. I want to see more. Like, after saying that on Sunday, I want to see more. So yeah, running back number two.
Yeah. Nah, Brandon, nah, ain't your phone. String y'all this hardboard time, so definitely ain't your phone. Dave, what's up, Dave? Catch you tomorrow, good
Hey,
brother. Can't wait.
hey, Dave.
Um, here go our next topic right here. I kind of worded it a little differently, but it's the same thing.
Hmm. Is Lamar Jackson? Do you
Put it.
think? Do you think Lamar Jackson is? Well, you said in the driver's seat for the league MVP.
Ooh, I want to say the bias me want to say yes, but the complete football guy and accurate I am, let's say no. I'm gonna go with Tua right now. I know they lost and all that, but Tua been lighting it up. Tyreek Hill ain't been catching those passes from himself. So definitely Tua. Then I'll say Lamar. Then I'll say Patrick Mahomes and Joe Burrow. They my top four. But right now I'm gonna lean with Tua a little bit because of the season that Tyreek Hill was having. Like I said, he's not catching the ball from himself. Somebody's tossing it to him, and it's Tua to catch a lot of flack, for the injuries and all that stuff like that. But he's in my opinion a driver's seat. Now, if he have a never off game, and then Lamar can continue to play like this, then Lamar will jump him. But right now, I'm gonna go with Tua by a slight edge.
Um, so I've been sitting with this since it was a question. Like since I made it a topic, I've been thinking about it and thinking about it. On your other podcast, you had asked like a couple of weeks ago, like, who do you think is leading the way for MVP? And I remember back then, I mean, I felt like it was Tua. And even today, I was thinking, like, is it Tua? Is it Lamar? Is it Tua? Is it Lamar? I feel like I'm going to still say it's Tua because he has been doing this, since week one. Like I said, at one point, I felt like I was watching a video game, seeing that offense out there, and he's leading the way. Um, he has more yards than Lamar. Like anybody who you would put in the conversation for MVP, whether it's Tua, Pat Mahomes, Jalen Hurts, whoever you want to put in, they all have 2,000 yards or more at this point. Lamar's about 46 yards short of that right now. Um, Lamar has about 9 passing touchdowns. All of those guys have double-digit touchdowns. Tua has 19 touchdowns. Now, where Lamar, where he is rising to me and it's like close second, it's he has 3 interceptions. A lot of those guys they had 5, 6, 7, or they had more interceptions than him. We can't forget Lamar's fumbles, whether they're his fault or not his fault.
Mm-hmm.
He does have some fumbles. But
Right.
Lamar's also number one
Right.
in quite a few categories. So that's what made it so hard for me today. Like when I was thinking about it, like is he leading the way? Is he not? Because he is, ranked number one in a lot of different quarterback categories. Me being a person that's not big on stats, I'm not going to use his stats and those numbers as a reason why. Excuse me. So I'm going to say it's Tua, but Lamar is right there. 8 games left, that could change drastically, like as far as how I rank them. But right now, it's Tua and Lamar is right there, nipping at his heels. But Lamar's playing great. Like he's having a great season.
All right. Our
All
last
right.
topic for the night.
And our last topic: are the Ravens the best team in the NFL?
We're the hottest team. Excuse me. We're the hottest team in the NFL. Not the best right now. Like I said, we still, got some stuff to clean up, and we still had some two pretty bad losses to two subpar football teams. But the best team in the NFL to me right now is the Philadelphia Eagles. Like I said, man, they get on offense, get on defense. Yeah, they lost. They lost a couple. They lost. Everybody loses a game. Like nobody's going undefeated. So yeah, they lost to the Jets. It happens. But yeah, but Philly, man, they say they just found a way how to win Sunday when everything was going against them, penalties, all that, and that threw for them 400 yards. They still held them out to win the game at the end. So I'm going with the Philadelphia Eagles, the defending NFC champions.
I understand that. Um, this was another one that I had to sit with, and I had to think about a lot of different things and a lot of different factors of how I was going to answer this question. And ultimately, I just feel like I can't say who's the best team. Like I don't know. I don't know who's the best team. And the reason I say that is because almost every team is flawed. Like even if you take the top 5 teams, whoever you think they are, each team has flaws. Like you mentioned the Eagles. I mean, we watched the Eagles play games against teams. Now, when you look at it and you're like, okay, they played the Giants and the Jets. Nobody, I mean, look at those teams now. We've seen them struggle in some games. We've seen them, still find ways to win, right? So in the end, you don't care how you win as long as you're winning. I always say it's better to win and figure things out in a win than losing. But I don't think they're perfect. You know what I mean? Like I was looking at Jalen Hurts interceptions today when I was just thinking about We was talking about when I was thinking about the MVP conversation. He has some turnovers this year, and that's a little alarming. But they definitely have the weapons. I mean, I can see why you would think it's the Eagles. When I thought about the Ravens, I feel like it's the same thing with the MVP conversation. Even if we say the Eagles are the best team, I feel like the Ravens are right there by them. I feel like the Ravens still got a lot of things to clean up offensively. The Ravens have arguably the best defense in the league, if not the best. They're right in that conversation. And then when I look at who we've played, only team that we've played that's below 500 right now are the Cardinals and the Texans. Who was it? Who was the other team? The Cardinals and the Texans or the Colts? No, the Colts. I think it's the Colts. The Cardinals and the
Nah,
Colts, and I think the Texans
well,
are
so
four and
Texas
four.
is 4-4.
Right. So the only ones below 500 are 2 teams. The Texans are 4 and 4, and the other 6 teams are above 500. In our own division, we have every team in the playoffs right now. So we've played some pretty good teams based on records, And that's something that I said last week when we were talking about the Seahawks. Um, as far in comparison to like who they played and who we've played. But it's just so hard for me to say, I can't say we're the best team because I still feel like we got things we can improve on offensively. If the offense was a little bit more together right now, I think I could answer that differently. Um, but when I look around the league, I just feel like a lot of teams have issues. Like I can't even say who is the clear cut favorite because the way the Eagles are playing, they could easily lose a game. They could easily lose a game. You know what I mean? It's just they've been lucky enough to have things happen the way they've happened for them. But I mean, they have the best record, so I guess you that makes them the best team. But I just feel like a lot of the teams are still trying to
Yeah,
figure things out.
and
Like everybody is like, you know.
yeah, another reason why I said them because of the depth. Just they did depth everywhere. They got, like I said, AJ Brown have a bad game. Here comes Devontae Smith. Dallas got it. Now they added Julio to the mix. Still can run the ball with Swift and Kenneth Gainwell and Sharp Penny. Hurts could take off and do his thing. Then that defensive line, they like 8 deep down there. And Jordan Davis not even back yet. So it's like, and they got a mean offensive line. So it's just they just built pretty well. Like Harvey's done an amazing job of trading and getting pieces of signing guys because their 2 rookies up front are killing. Jalen Carter and Nolan Smith are killing.
Mm-hmm,
So and then slaying them
mm-hmm,
guys in the back end doing anything. So they just the most complete team to me right now and on both sides of the ball. That's why I think they're the best team. But the
and
Ravens are
and when
definitely
you
right behind them for sure. Ain't no doubt
and
about
when you speak about depth, I mean the Ravens also have depth. You think about all the injuries we've had this year on every phase, every level of football, and we still could be will be 7-2. And the 2 games that we lost, I mean, we know that we could have won those. Those were more like self-inflicted issues. Um, so yeah, it's good. I mean, the Eagles are a great team, no doubt about it. They're a great team, but it's tough for me to pick up a team right now. Like everybody is just so up and down.
it. They said Chris Johnson is a perfect comparison for Keaton Mitchell. Yeah, same school, similar run style. Chris Johnson just a tad bit bigger. Like Keaton's 5'9", Chris Johnson was 5'10", 5'11". So not a super big difference in far stature, but yeah, both of them guys got wheels, and like I said, they went to the same school. Both got dreadlocks. So I felt like it was just appropriate to use that as a comparison.
Mhm.
Brandon, aka so 501 said, yeah, I'm gonna start reading the comments more.
Mhm.
Sorry about that. They need to give Gus deal. Need to give Gus deal. I guess mean money, and keep the rookie and draft another running back. I see 2 running backs in the Ravens should look at. So what about? I mean, I hear you, but then Jake, you still got J.K. Dobbins. I don't know what they're gonna do with him. I'm assuming they might bring him back 1 year deal, possibly. Cause I do like him. They just don't want to put no heavy money with the injury history. So I'm thinking a 1 year deal will probably be the first thing that comes out EDC mouth. Because I think they do want him in a Raven uniform. They just got to see the durability for them to feel comfortable to act, to give him 3, 4 years and all that. But I don't know. I mean, if not, I'm cool with the running backs we got. We can make it work. Like we just seen it. You don't always got to have a Derrick Henry or Chubb or CMC. Those guys are nice, but if you got 2, 3 guys that can do that type of things for a cheaper price, why not? So, what's your thoughts on this, Shannon?
Yeah, I think that we should bring back Gus. I think he's a free agent this offseason too, right? I don't know. I have to look it up, but I think I would like Gus
Yeah.
and Dobbins to come back and
Yes.
Keaton Mitchell.
Yes. Yes.
But it's going to be tough because with these guys being free agents, they're going to want to get paid. You know what I mean? So I can see needing to draft a running back just depending on how free agency goes. I don't think the Ravens gonna want them to walk out the door, but I don't know if the Ravens can pay them.
That's true. That's true because you still got to pay Patrick Queen,
Yeah.
possibly Geno Stone, because I know after him probably being an all pro, you're not gonna let him walk out the door. Matty BK gotta get paid, so you gotta see what you're gonna do with Devin Duvernay. Yeah, so it's definitely it
And
definitely got some
some of
decisions
these
as far
guys
as
could get
re-signing guys.
and some of them could get a deal before the season ends. We've seen the Ravens make, deals before the season ends. So if that happens, and that's one less thing to worry about in the off
Yeah,
season. So that would be cool.
mhm. No, that's completely true. You're right. You're absolutely right. So, like I said, we'll see. Like I said, I like our running back run right now. Like I said, we got a lot of flexibility there.
Hmm.
Oh man, well everybody, that is it for today's show. Sorry for not recording yesterday. It was a little tired, had a long, long day, but we here. So we'll be back tomorrow too. We give y'all double duty, with our preview of week 10 versus the Browns. We'll have that stuff up there, score prediction, keys to the game, etc., etc. All right, co-host, you want to say anything before we wrap it up?
I just want to say to our fan base, try not to be so, I don't want to say sensitive because that can come across like rude, but just relax a little bit when you hear different opinions about the Ravens or the players. I noticed that some people were upset because like Eric Mangini, he said something about the Ravens, negative, like it wasn't a good thing. Sterling Sharp said something that they didn't like about the Ravens because they were talking about the Bengals. He picked Joe Burrow or something like that. And then I saw our local fan, like locally, fans are upset at Rob Long from the radio for just asking a question about Lamar and his playing style. And people got upset, not even giving an opinion. He just asked the questions for it to be a topic. And everybody got up in arms, and he's been going back and forth all day on Twitter. I just want us to relax. On one hand, we'll be mad when we're not being talked about, and on the other hand, when you are being talked about and the opinions are not what you want them to be, it's a problem. Everybody got an opinion. You know what I mean? So the only thing that can change people's opinions about the Ravens or Lamar is the Ravens and Lamar. You win these games, you get to the postseason, and let's change the narrative. But there's no need to act like the things that they're asking or things they're saying is not true. Joe Burrow is a great quarterback. Like he's a really good quarterback. He's probably the second best quarterback in the league. We forget that he had a calf injury. It's nothing wrong with saying you would take Joe Burrow over Lamar. That takes nothing from Lamar. You know what I mean? So I just want us to be able to have, football conversations and dialogue where we're not taking things so personally. Like everybody's not going to agree. And the only way to change the narrative is to change the narrative. Go win.
Like you said, we gonna win a Super Bowl. Lamar won Super Bowl MVP. That'll have not that it's people not. I mean, of course, you're always gonna have doubters in some aspect of life. That's just what it is. But I'm pretty
Yes.
sure he do all that. Nobody really have nothing to say. Not unless you just want to people like,
Nothing to
oh,
say.
he need to be like Mahomes and Brady win multiple, nitpick, and
Right. Right.
which it probably will be those people we know though. They're hiding in the
Hmm.
bushes somewhere. They will say that they'll be their next card moving the goalposts. You can't control that. People gonna be people. But yeah, but I totally agree with
Hmm.
everything you just said. Well, everybody, like I said, we'll see y'all tomorrow for the preview show. Make sure y'all like, subscribe. What I mean. Make sure y'all trade. Y'all know what that stands for. Talking Ravens all day, every day. With your host Justin P and my MVP, $1 million co-host, and
Hmm.
Shannon Finch. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Same bat time, bat channel. And we are out. Peace.
Good, good night. Bye, Justin.
Shannon.